everyone for having me here. I'm delighted to be able to close this. Is it true it's been 3 days?
It has been, yes.
Because I read this and Annabelle sent me the slides. And I have a pretty busy life, but I actually made time to go through all those slides to get a sense of what you have been doing here for 3 days. And I sure wish I could have taken the whole 3-day course myself, because I think it looks very impressive. So thank you very much for all the work you've given to such an important initiative within the university. If I can just speak personally for a moment, this initiative within the university really means a lot to me. I have spent a lot of my own career in the health sciences, as you might know. Began life as a nurse. I certainly have had to triage situations. I've had to deal with emergencies. I've certainly had to deal with crisis management. And I know how important it is for an organization to have very well considered, evidence-based protocols that are well understood and well coordinated to manage those situations. And the situations I know you've described going back to 2007, where there was an incident in Virginia, they predate that. I think back to my days in Canada when there was a massacre of women in Montreal at the university library by a gunman that went in who just didn't believe she didn't need money. And it sent a ripple through, all of us. I was teaching at the time at the University of Manitoba. And we think of universities and learning places as places that are welcoming, places where it really shouldn't matter who you are, what your background is, because we have a shared commitment to learning, quest for knowledge through research, and it's a place to transform lives in a living. So when these moments happen in our worlds, it's never right, but it certainly really confronts me and people's judgment. And I think the other thing that resonated with me as I was thinking about coming today was what we've gone through with Boston. Mm-hmm. I was in Malaysia at our Sarawak campus, and I go up there about 6 times a year to check in and see how everything's going there, with 4,000 students and all of our staff there. Wonderful, wonderful organization happening there, and really meeting the needs of students from such a wide range as well. We have students from 52 countries at our campus in Sarawak, so people often think of it as a Malaysian campus, but it's a very international campus and very engaged with a wider world. But as I went into the airport lounge at 10 to 6 on Tuesday morning to get ready to come home, there was this late-breaking news, and I have a brother-in-law in Boston, so that's really, kind of rang through as I tried to make contact with family and couldn't get through. But just thought about our students, our Northeastern students, and the collaboration we've had with the Northeastern students in Boston, how we will have about 150 of them come to us, and we, at that time, I didn't know how many students we had there, how many staff, but the team quickly, within minutes, was onto it to know, did we have people there on the ground, staff, students, what was happening? A very well-coordinated response to communicating with their families, communicating with the staff responsible there, and being able to let us know what was going on. So, we live with this in a very regular way, I'm sorry to say. And I guess the only thing that kind of keeps us with our feet on the ground is remembering that whilst there are some horrendous things that happen that really make us question what's going on the planet. I had a nephew say, well, that's it, I'm moving to Mars, we're on Facebook here. There are good people doing good things, and I sure outnumber the ones that do the crazy stuff. So we've got to remember that and keep our perspective. So I just wanted to share some of my personal thoughts about this as I came today to meet with you. I appreciate that this workshop will probably be serving people at different points in terms of their own understanding, skills, and experience in relation to this topic. But we are looking at that common goal of understanding how to manage behavioral threats and how to respond in a coordinated way. So I hope that for many of you it will reinforce existing knowledge. My own belief is when you think you know something, you can always go deeper in knowing something or be affirmed in what you know, and that will hopefully give you some greater confidence or assurance that you know how to handle situations when they come at you. And that we do know some tried and true methods. I thought I would also just offer some thoughts and reflections about why this program is important to Swinburne. We have a responsibility to both our students and our staff to create a safe environment for them and to help them through troubled times. So we're not here simply to impart content, but what we want to do is make sure that when students leave us, they're leaving not only qualified with their course, their credential, their award, but they have become more of who they can be. And that's a very complete kind of wish that we add value to their lives. So that means we are interested not only in what's happening in their brain, their skill sets, but also their values, their ethics, and the way they operate with people. So it's deeply rooted, I believe, in our mission as a university to help make sure that our students graduate as good citizens. I also believe that we have a responsibility as a university to, really, like other educators, but we're dealing with a more vulnerable population. We think about people as children being vulnerable, or we think about the elderly, but I was just speaking to someone today because I was opening the Career Advisors Conference that we were having at the NCG. So I told my husband I was going to beat the cricket team. 650 career advisors, terrific to talk to them about how they can know us and help create the right kind of advice for students. But in the tea break that followed, we were talking about this age cohort, particularly the 18 to 30. And there are a lot of developmental milestones that are pretty scary. And we see, I've raised some children, I know what it's like. It's complicated because you can get through high school, you can have done pretty well in sport, you might have done well if you're high school, but then you have to face the big bad world. You've got to know, am I going to make it? Those questions about identity, who am I? Am I going to make it in my career? Will I find a partner? What's that all about? And will someone like me? And do I have a friendship network that I'm going to have to redevelop now, find in different ways? We know the mental health issues in this age group are significant, and they have been under-identified and underserved. So we do have responsibility to be more attentive to this age group, because that's a very formative stage of career. My own husband did a study many years ago. He's a psychologist. He did a study about and interviewed people at different decades in their lives, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. He's at the University of California. And they followed this longitudinal study, and they asked people about their range of things, but one of them was about their happiness in life. And they all described that the most difficult decade in their life was their 20s. So that's probably not new data to people in this room. And it was because they were trying to sort out who they were and establish themselves and really test themselves. So we have to remember that while we're asking people to do their assignments and adapt to perhaps a new culture, a new environment, new living circumstances, financial pressure, there's a lot that's going on up here about who am I and how am I doing. And I think some of those things become context then for people to not always behave the way they ought to. So a lot of this for me is about being preventative as well as responding to crises when they occur. I think the other reason that this is so important to us is that being a researcher myself, I believe in grounding our practices in best practice and in sound evidence. So rather than everybody having one good idea or two good ideas, or the way we usually do it here, where you can lock in unexamined practices, it's much healthier to take the approach that we take. So I'm very appreciative that we've done this in the way that we have. And we have a greater chance, therefore, of maximizing the probability of a good outcome for our students. This is a specialist area. This is not something that everybody who's dog can do. But we need to understand that we have talent, we've got resources, we have expertise, we have experience, and we can draw upon that. And that specialist knowledge is something that we need to value and we need to take advantage of in an organized way. And it also, the other advantage to the approach taken is it gives us a chance for systematic learning. Because we have a more coordinated plan and an approach and a protocol, we can, as I've recognized in our protocol, get through situations, pause, take a deep breath and say, how did that go? How did we manage that? And as someone who's been part of healthcare teams for many years, doing that has always been a very important and very powerful way of learning and improving the quality of the service that we provide, because you've got immediate memory and shared understanding and different perspectives about that thing. So for all those reasons, this is extremely important, and I thoroughly endorse the model that's used and the management model adopted by Brown. I'd like to comment on our culture. We do have a responsibility to take care of our people by being sure that they have a safe environment in which to work. And I think while I've said that we need a specialist, it's good to have specialists and people who know this, we can't just say, well, you handle it, it's up to you. Our ability to take advantage of that expertise and that know-how is our coordination across the university. And it's not easy. It's hard enough to coordinate an email system across the university, let alone the complexity and the emotionally laden anxiety that sometimes gets associated with these kinds of threats and behaviors. So working as you have to reach out to a wider network here, openness to people across the university, and also I am trying to find lots of ways so that this team's experience and knowledge and services are well understood in different parts of the university. So I know you've presented to the Planning and Management Committee, and we're reaching out to you for other forums as well, so that we continue to educate people, and it then becomes part of the culture that we know what to do. When emergencies happen, you need to be practiced. You need to have good systems in place. My husband and I like to sail, and he taught me to sail. And I quickly learned it was very important to know the names of things on boats. Not because you just needed to add more, to your vocabulary so you could win at Scrabble, but so that when you are moving fast and the wind is coming and something changes, you don't say, grab that, beside it, the one, faster, and then crash, you hit the pier, right? So it is really smart to have shared vocabulary, shared understanding, and know how to move quickly when you have to around critical moments. So I would just like to close by acknowledging the Brown team, which was only launched in 2012, right? I mean, very early days, but already has made a huge difference, I believe, to the support we provide to our students, to our staff, the confidence I have in our ability to respond to situations that are bound to occur when you're dealing with human beings. But to that end, it was very appropriate that this team received the Vice Chancellor's Award last year, and I'm wanting to congratulate you and acknowledge you again for the great work you're doing. So thank you for giving me your time today and last 2 days before to really make this a better place for our students. Thank you.
Thank you.